Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button for more content like this. Have you ever been excited for a show only for the first episode to leave you feeling underwhelmed? Um, and that's how many felt about the premiere of Tougen Anki. Fans were hoping for something fresh, something that would breathe new life into the old Momotaro and Oni story. But what they got instead was a predictable mix of overused shonen tropes. Mm. The first episode felt disappointingly familiar. It didn't offer anything new or exciting, leaving viewers longing for more parts of the inside flag. So I just yet even in its predictability, there was a glimmer of potential. Reddit user at Smutty captured this sentiment perfectly. Sometimes a show that feels offensively average can still hold something worth sticking around for. Let's take a moment to reflect on what could have been. Children's anime like Doraemon frequently touches on the tale of Momotaro. Since so many are already familiar with it, there's uh, all of them are a room for some creative freedom. Um, the anime could have gone wild with this established lore, or alternatively, stayed true to the original and crafted a masterpiece that felt familiar yet fresh. In Tougen Anki, the plot kicks off with a playful exchange between Shiki and his father, uh, and Tougen save. And but it's clear that the father won't make it through the episode, and the show quickly ramps up into an action-packed middle. The transition feels rushed, and though there's a lot happening, it doesn't give the audience much time to breathe or absorb what's unfolding. And by the second half, we're watching what feels like an entire movie. In the movie is something about the remarkable case. The father's injuries become more severe. Shiki unveils new powers, and the narrative delves into the past. It's packed with action, but it doesn't quite hit the mark, often reminding us of shonen series like Bleach or Kagurabachi. But instead of drawing inspiration from these shows, it seems like um, Togen Anki is just another imitation of the genre. And unfortunately, the anime struggles to create a connection with its viewers. The characters feel distant, and the fight scenes fall flat, failing to draw us into the emotional core of the story. The usual shonen excitement doesn't quite land because there's no emotional investment to back it up. Um, um, but that doesn't mean sticking to traditional routes is always a bad idea. Sometimes simplicity can work as long as there's depth or solid execution to back it up. Um, and that is CAD potential, but it was rushed in its pacing. This son dynamic, the father son dynamic, could have been explored more deeply. And the chase scene might have been a great way to end the episode on a high note. Uh, and Unfortunately, what followed was more of the same. Uh, um, One of the more interesting moments in the episode happens when Shiki angrily confronts his father, which momentarily revitalizes the older character. Um, but true to form, the show quickly falls back into familiar territory. It's a captivating moment only because it breaks away from the usual shonen dynamics. Too bad it didn't last. Had Tougen Anki leaned into its shonen tropes a little more self-aware, it could have been more fun. Imagine if the show poked fun at its predictability or acknowledged the exaggerated optimism typical of the genre. Instead, it stays firmly within the boundaries of what's expected, leaving it both familiar and, at times, forgettable. After giving the first few episodes a shot, Tougen Anki does start to become more engaging. It's one of those shows that might sneak up on you if you give it a little more time. But does it have that same effect on you? Or do you find yourself losing interest? Let me know your thoughts below. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.